So welcome to 420 Somewhere podcast. I'm your host 420. Let's get the smoke sesh started. All right, so we're gonna go into my first segment, which is Weed 101. I'm gonna be telling you guys what strain I'm smoking. Currently, I'm smoking cereal milk. If you've never heard of it, it's a rare, evenly balanced hybrid. So it's literally 50% indica and 50% sativa. So its parents are Snowman and Wildlife. I never heard of Wildlife, so I had to do a quick Google. What the fuck is Wildlife? So Wildlife is basically cookies and cherry pie strain together. So it's two different strains in one. They call it Wildlife. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's a cool name, but I never heard of it. The origins of this strain, it was created by Cookies Fam Genetics. So I know I've heard of Cookies. I've seen the blue bag and the white letters. It says Cookies and script. It's pretty dope. I like it. I can't complain. This strain gets me super fucking high, but not too high to where it's I can't function. Cookies was started by burner and grow expert Jigga. Don't know who they are, but they're the ones that started Cookies Fam Genetics. They're based in LA, of course. I feel like all the weed strains are based in California. They have 25,000 farms just in California. So they apparently have worldwide farms, but their strains are everywhere. So I'm sure that's countrywide. Who knows? The aroma is creamy, fruity. It's sweet. When you hit it, you can definitely taste the cherry pie. You can taste all the fruitiness. It's kind of creamy too. I can see why they call it cereal milk. It literally kind of tastes like the milk at the bottom of cereal, especially Fruity Pebbles. That's what it makes me think of because it's so fruity. The effects, it gets you relaxed, as all weed should. I mean, some people get paranoid when they smoke weed, but this is not a strain where you would get paranoid. You get creative and it brings out the uplifting spirits. It's uplifting. So it relieves muscle aches, pain. It's perfect for creativity. So if you're ever stumped, you can't really think of anything creative, you're trying to do something new or you want to paint something and you want to be creative, smoke some cereal milk. Literally for migraines. If you have if you're very sensitive to light or you have easily triggered migraines, smoke some cereal milk. You'll be all good. You don't get as many triggers as you would just smoking a different strain. So that's it for my strain that I'm smoking. Some cereal milk weed 101. Now we're going to move into edibles 101. So now we're going to be smoking this rose petal blunt that I rolled, and I'm going to teach you guys how to roll one. How to make a rose petal blunt. Step 1, grind your weed. You want to grind your weed super fine. You want to at least do a gram, maybe 1.5. That's kind of pushing it because you're going to have weed falling out everywhere. So I started out with a gram personally. You're going to take 3 rose petals off of your rose. So you got a rose, you take 3 of the petals off. And then what I did was right where the petals connect. So you had this is your rose petal, right? So right here where you just plucked it from, you cut that part off. Then you lay the 3 rose petals overlapping each other. Put that in the oven. I want to say how I did it is I baked the rose petals at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 to 3 minutes. When I was watching other videos on YouTube, they advise people to broil their rose petals. I did it 3 ways, 3 methods. I did the overnight version where you just leave the petals out overnight and let them dry naturally. Second thing I did was bake them. The third thing I did was broil them because in the YouTube videos that I watched, everyone broiled their rose petals for 10 seconds. I didn't like that method at all. I ended up burning some of the rose petals, because I have these white rose petals too. They were easily singed. The whole thing come out brown. And I was it was only in there for 10 seconds. Literally, I sat there and was 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Yeah, after 10, that shit was fucking burnt. I was yeah, I don't like the broil method. I definitely baking it at a lower temperature, and then just checking it every like 30 seconds. That's what I did. So I found that from 2 to 3 minutes is how long you should leave it in there for if you're baking it at 250 degrees. That's like perfect method. When I left it out overnight, that shit was still like wet. Like it didn't fully dry out. Like you would have to leave it out for like 2 or 3 days. Maybe 3 would be excessive. The method of choice would be baking. That's all I have to say about that. So after you're done baking them, you're gonna take them out of the oven. You're gonna lick the bottoms where you like cut off a little bit. You're gonna lick that because it's gonna make it flat. When you cut off the ends, it takes the rose from like, you know, doing its natural petal form and it just flattens it. So it's like you can actually roll it. So when you take them out, you're gonna lick the bottom of it and connect the 3 overlapping rose petals. So after you lick them to death and make them stick, you want to put that bitch back in the oven just for it to dry up a little bit because you don't want to roll it with all your saliva on there. After you do that, you're going to put it back in the oven, dry it out. Then you're going to put the weed on the rose petal and then you're going to do a tuck and roll. So you're literally like pushing down the weed and rolling it, tuck and roll, because you want to roll it super tight because these motherfuckers, they loosey-goosey. And if they loosey-goosey, you're gonna have all the smoke coming out. Like you want it tight because you have 3 rose petals. So you're gonna make sure like it's sealed. There ain't no fucking smoke coming out of that bitch. Then after you do that, you roll it, you basically rolling it like a backwood. So like you're gonna let it dry out a little bit, let it rest for like 2 minutes, and then you can smoke it. You can smoke that motherfucker. So I'm gonna tell you about the benefits of smoking rose petals. So I used organic rose petals because if you use just any regular rose, you don't know if it's been treated with pesticides. You do not want to smoke that shit. This way it's a healthy alternative to tobacco, and you can also use it in like a form of graba. Like if you dry out your rose petals and you basically can make them into your own graba. You can fill out your J's. Look at, got a nice little healthy arrangement here. I got colored and then I got regular. It's definitely a healthy alternative to using graba. I used to use graba in all my joints and I switched over to rose petals. I find that it gives me like that same like rush type of feeling, but it's more relaxation versus like a head rush that tobacco gives you. Like it gives you that head high, but like with the rose petals, I feel it's a body high. So other benefits, you have a feeling of inner peace. So like I said, you feel more relaxed and it's definitely an aphrodisiac. So if you want to ever, you know, get in the mood, smoke a rose petal joint and see what happens. Herbs that can be added to like your joints or your blunts if you wanted to. I'm more of a joints person when it comes to roses and herbs because then you can actually taste it. With a blunt, I just taste the actual taste of the wrap and it doesn't go well for me. So you can add lavender, chamomile, passion flower, mugwort, and jasmine. Those are like the main ones that you want to add to your joints. Only because it literally adds that extra level of relaxation. I didn't believe it until I actually smoked it. It literally mellowed me the fuck out. I actually didn't even finish the J. Like I had to clip it because I was just so mellowed out. Like I was like, yeah, I'm ready for bed. Like I'm zoned. Like I'm in a good place. Like it's kind of that feeling you have after you meditate. That's it for Edibles 101. That's how you make your rose petal blunts. I think I sparked it the wrong way, but all good. Okay, so that's it for Edibles 101. Now we're gonna go on to the convo and chill portion. This is fun because we're talking about masturbation. Hey, who doesn't masturbate? I know I do, a lot. What is masturbation? Masturbation is self-pleasure, exploration of your body, basically like getting to know yourself in a sexual nature, on a sexual level. It's super important because you want to know your body. You want to be able to tell others who, you know, you're having sex with how to please you. Because if you don't know how to please yourself, then I don't know what to tell you. Then you're probably not going to achieve climax or any type of shit if you don't know how to please yourself. Different methods that you can use to masturbate. Toys. You could use your hand. You could literally use pretty much anything. Even females get accidental orgasms just from riding a horse. Yeah, apparently it's more common than not to accidentally orgasm, but you know, there's that. So masturbation, it doesn't always have to be by yourself. You can actually masturbate with a partner, which I highly recommend, especially if you guys are just starting out being sexual and you don't really know each other's bodies. Like, you're kind of uncomfortable asking the question, so you're just gonna walk in empty-handed or walking in blind and just being like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Every person is different. So what you may have used on the previous partner may not be the same for the next partner that you have. So if you guys both masturbate in the same room, like next to each other, like, just observe what they're doing, their pace, like how they get started with the pace, how they're ending with the pace. It's actually smart to like masturbate with each other before getting intimate, because you could take notes on what the hell they're doing to please themselves, because then you can do that for them. Always switch, you know, like, all right, I'm masturbating and I'm pleasing myself, but then now I'm gonna please you and you gonna please me. Like, we both masturbating at the same time, but now we're masturbating each other. That shit happens. So it doesn't always have to be alone. You could do it with somebody. The benefits of masturbating can relieve sexual tension. Say if you're a very horny person, just masturbate and you'll be okay. You don't always need to have sex with a body or a person. Like, if it's just for sex, like, you could just masturbate. Use your toys. There's other things, like, you know, you don't have to use people. There's other toys for that. I'm just saying. I feel like, you know, it keeps your sexual health in check. Less STDs. It can help with relaxation. So, you know, after you climax, after you achieve your orgasm, you're like 10 times more relaxed. Your body just really, like, even your heart is like racing so crazy, but like the rest of your body is just relaxed. Like, that's literally endorphins. Your endorphins, that's the next one. So it's a release of endorphins. So that's like achieves a higher frequency. So your mood is better. Like, you're feeling yourself. Like, it even improves your self-esteem and your body image just by those endorphins, the feeling of being loved, and improves your sleep too. Like, I know I'll be fucking getting tired of shit after I masturbate a bunch and I make myself orgasm. I'm like, all right, time for a nap. It's time for bed. The methods that you can use to masturbate to, you can have porn, which I'm sure is a wide few of you that use porn. You know, like your porn hubs, your websites, watching other people have sex. Then you have, you know, your personal videos. So if you a freak like me, you record it, you know, you could watch those. Get in the mood with that because you've already experienced it. So it's like, you already know what it feels like. So I guess that's also a good thing if you have personal vids. You can also get off based on sexual thoughts or memories. Like, you close your eyes, you don't even gotta watch anything. Like, you're just already bringing it back to like a sexual memory or a sexual fantasy. You don't even need to watch anything if you got a good imagination. You can also get off on erotica books. So you could read, like, you know, a sexy little fantasy novel or something, or you could even sext. There is such a thing as sexting. People get off on that. You can masturbate while texting. I feel like that's a lot of work, but hey, why not? If it gets you going, it gets you going. Just saying. So that's my take on masturbation. Ooh, yeah, guys. All right, so that was the end of the podcast. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget to stay high, motherfuckers.